So let's talk about messages in video games. There's been a lot of discourse lately about how games are going woke and you need to take your message out of my game, especially around one game recently in particular, Dragon Age Railguard. But now, while I agree that sometimes we all just want some mindless fun at times, just, kick the ball into goal or point shoot, KD ratio go up kind of games, there are some games that do have something to say and make a point of saying it. The problem is that these days, majority of these games are hitting us over the head with the messages like the message mailman in Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. And if you haven't seen that movie and you don't understand that reference, you need to stop this right now, go look for that and watch it. Trust me, you will not regret it. Excellent movie. My point, however, stands that most games these days with a message need to be more nuanced in their delivery and leave it open for interpretation, showing that they trust you as the player to come to your own conclusions and then talk about it with your friends. I think we're gotten to a point right now where lots of the games don't really respect the intelligence of the players these days, which is a problem. This way, when things like this actually do happen, you have two or more people can play exactly the same game and come to exactly two different conclusions, which is the beauty of gaming. You could really interpret things differently depending on your own social views and everything that particularly matters to you. I think some examples of where, these were done really well with games like the Red Red Redemption series, which to me is just a story about life and how there's just no fairy tales. You reap what you sow, and in the end, we all die. That's the manner in which all things kind of flow. And that's what always happens. The Last of Us 2 as well, I think, is another game that actually, does that pretty well. A lot of people may have different points of view about how things were taken, but I think the series speaks to the lengths we'll go for love, sometimes destructively so, and the far-reaching impact of violence and the vicious cycle that it creates. So, definitely some messages there, and depending on how you look at the game or play it or feel about it, you're going to look at that in a couple of different ways. And then sometimes it's just something simple like Journey, which signifies the highs and lows of just camaraderie and just exploration. Each one of these games may have an entirely different interpretation for you than it did for me, but what they do well is tell a story, for better or worse, that challenges you to consider something, anything, instead of wholly telling you to think this way because I said so. The medium of video games, while young, I believe has an evolving user base of players who have grown up over the span of time with video games and need to be treated like adults, pretty much. You need to respect the opinion that lots of these people, while there's a new age of people that are coming into it, a lot of the people that drove it to where it is right now are growing up. They're looking for much more in-depth stories, much more things that are in tune with their current sensibilities that actually speak to them in a manner that is respectful of their own intelligence and also their time. That time conversation, we'll talk about that in another video. But what I do love, right, with video games is that while you have the ability to have some simple, mindless fun, there are some times where you have some games that allow you to really think deeply about whatever message it's trying to, translate over to you, right? So I think what we need to do overall, just as a gaming industry, is that if you're going to deliver a message, don't be the message mailman. Don't kind of just hit me over the head with it. Spin me a tale, lead me down the river, but don't force me to drink and then tell me it tastes like roses. Be open to understanding that I can decide if I do want to drink from that stream, or even if I do drink, that it doesn't taste like roses. Maybe it tastes like dandelions to me or something, right? Or it tastes like tulips. We need to be okay with having differing opinions in terms of how we consume media and what we feel about it or come out with it at the end of the day. Unfortunately, I think, overall, this is just a result of just where we sit today in society, where we've lost the ability to agree to disagree and just be okay with that, right? The game might be great for you, it might not be great for me. A lot of people are enjoying Veilguard, some others are not, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we need to go back to a day where video games are okay with delivering a message with a little bit more nuance, with a little bit more subtlety, or even if you're hitting us over the head with it, it's tongue-in-cheek. It's a 90s action movie, just full-on bombast and things just going nuts, right? I think video games are beautiful in that you have the agency as a player to push forward and pause the story. And I think it's time that we as players just get our agency back in how our messages are delivered. So that's the video right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and any ways in which I can improve or just how you're thinking about things. Also, like and subscribe. Only like the video if you like it. And hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.